Hi, and welcome to SimVenture Evolution, lesson 10, which is all about sales channels. So if you remember last time we met up, we looked at the promotion and the case that went with that, and we wrote up our diary on DBI skills. Today, an overview of what we cover sales channels and decisions in your journal. So there's a couple of learning objectives that we're going to focus on today. And the first one is the marketing distribution channel system, one of your 4 Ps, obviously, place, the role of distribution channel members, the critical decisions that you need to make as marketing managers in managing channels, and the integration of those distribution channels. So you can see now that with our process to market, we've gone a fair way around here and got to the sales channels. You can choose not to work in this structured way if you want to, but this process has worked quite well beforehand, so we'd encourage you to use it if you can. So if you remember from last time when we talked about promotions and we talked about the marketing umbrella, the distribution channels will also appear under this umbrella, because within this umbrella strategy, you're probably going to have the same distribution channels as you would promotional channels for whichever product you're using, because we're focusing on the brand, not the individual products. So one sales channel. They're often referred to as the avenues through which businesses sell and distribute their products or services to customers. These channels serve as vital links connecting businesses with their target audience. So you can see again, we're coming back to segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Sales channels also encompass a diverse array of platforms and methods, each with its own unique characteristics and advantages. And there are various different types of sales channels. This image is figure 19.8, which comes from the Kotler et al. Book on marketing management in chapter 19. So we're going to go through each of these levels to see what the differences are and then apply them in the simulation. So the first point of call on that diagram is the left-hand box, and a 0-level channel consists of a manufacturer, aka Green Spokes, or whatever your company is named now, consists of the manufacturer selling direct to the final customer. And some examples of this could be street food markets on a Sunday morning, or SimVenture direct sales. So food markets in parks, outdoor events. Apple, for example, sell direct in terms of computers, iPods, iPads, and other consumer electronics through its own retail outlets. Politicians will use blogs, podcasts, and social media to deliver content direct to voters. So the next level along is a level 1 channel, which contains one selling intermediary. Now, this might be a retailer or a selling agent. So any event that uses, perhaps as an example, a ticket selling agency like Ticketmaster for booking shows is a 1-level channel. The concert venue, the Ticketmaster, the customer. So think about in SimVenture Evolution, whether you use 0 channels or 1-level channels. So level 2 channels contains 2 selling intermediaries. In consumer markets, these are typically a wholesaler and a retailer. For example, Cadbury's chocolate bars goes to a wholesaler who supplies it to Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, etc., where the consumer then goes on and purchases the product. So a 3-level channel contains 3 selling intermediaries. In the meat packing industry, for example, wholesalers sell to jobbers, essentially small-scale wholesalers, who then move it on to small retailers and then on to the final customers. So when we're thinking about channel design decisions, we have to come back to the old age issue of who's your segment, Who's your target? What do they want? And what do they need? So in designing a distribution channel system, marketers analyze customers' needs and wants, they establish channel objectives and constraints, and identify and evaluate channel alternatives, which is what I need you to do here. So consumers may choose the channels they prefer based on price, product, assortment, and convenience, as well as their own shopping goals. These might be economic, social, or experiential purchases. So marketers must be aware that different consumers have different needs during the purchasing process, and their purchasing needs and processes may change over time. Even the same consumer, though, may choose different channels for different functions in a purchase, browsing a catalogue before visiting a shop or test driving a car at a dealer before ordering online, of examples. So in terms of types of intermediate, each channel from sales forces to agents, distributors, dealers, direct mail, telemarketing, and the internet has unique strengths and weaknesses. And marketing managers must decide on the number of intermediaries that they use, given budget constraints. So sales forces can handle complex products and transactions, but expensive. So you might have, for example, in a simulation, someone from your company going out to small and large retailers and meeting staff there and trying to sell their products and services. In terms of time, cost, and resources, it's quite heavy. So you'd need to decide whether that was the right channel or not. The internet is inexpensive, but may not be as effective with complex products and services. Distributors actually can create sales, but the company then loses direct contact with customers. Several clients can share the cost of manufacturers' reps, but the selling effort is less intense than the company reps provide. Please have a look at Kotler et al., Marketing Management, Chapter 19, for further information. So what we're going to do now is, what I want you to do is pause video, log into the simulation, navigate to sales and marketing, sales channels, and look at the guidance and information tabs before we go any further, and then complete the learning activity in the notes below this slide. So your task is to analyze and evaluate the current sales channels by asking the questions posed in the key considerations tab. If the business with their current strategy for the next 2 quarters, what do you think the outcome might be if you change the sales channel and if you didn't change the sales channels? Would you recommend any changes? If so, what are those recommendations? And this might be quite an interesting opportunity to discuss this in your summative assessment. It may be that you decide to talk about sales channels, and that's absolutely fine. Different types of sales channels within SimVenture evolution. And again, we need to make sure that we choose the right channels based on what our customers' needs and wants are and how they access the purchases of bicycles. So choosing the right sales channel is super, super important. So let's go off and review the target market, look at our customer preferences, remember the strategy, look at that you would have intermediaries and look at the integration and comparison of those sales channels. So select sales channel decision that is including the nature of your business, your target market, the type of product, the competitive landscape. And so here are some considerations to keep in mind. So in terms of customer preferences, understanding where your target customers are and where they prefer to shop can help you to determine the most effective sales channels for your business. In terms of cost and resources, go into the simulation and evaluate the costs associated with each sales channels, including any fees, transaction fees, visits, and ongoing maintenance expenses by sales reps. Look at the reach and exposure. Consider the reach and exposure offered by each sales channel and how many products they currently sell for you. How well does that align with your business goals and objectives, or is there a better way? Also look at control and flexibility. So you need to determine the level of control and flexibility you want over the sales process, as well as your ability to adapt to changing market conditions. And in terms of control and flexibility, the longer the chain is, the longer the sales channel chain is, the less flexibility that you have and the less control that you might have. And finally, integration and compatibility. What you need to do is assess the compatibility of each sales channel with your existing systems and infrastructure, including inventory management, payment processing, and customer support. So you're going to have to add some time, cost, and resources into sales and marketing function, and particularly into the sales channel function, depending on the level of control and flexibility that you want as an organization. Slide here at the top, the history, currently logged into SimVenture solution. So we're going to look at history, quarterly reports, and sales. This will give you your sales channels. It will give you the order count coming from each channel, the sales count, and the sales value. So probably the better thing to do is to try and maximize your sales channel effectiveness. And once you've identified the most suitable sales channels for your business, it's essential to optimize their effectiveness to drive sales and maximize revenue. So here are some strategies to consider for your SimVenture business. How about multi-channel selling? So embracing a multi-channel selling approach to reach customers across multiple platforms and touch points simultaneously. But do remember where these sales are coming from. So your multi-channel may be from direct sales, small retailers, large retailers, web retailers, national distributors, and export distributors within the simulation. Also think about data analytics and how you can track and analyze consumer behavior, identify trends, and optimize your sales and marketing efforts. So have your consumers changed over the last 3 years? Are they looking at different distribution and sales channels differently from year 1 to year 4, for example? And looking at customer support, providing exceptional support across all sales channels to enhance the overall shopping experience and foster customer loyalty. In this section also would be an analysis of your quality control as well, which we covered a couple of weeks ago, because your customers are likely to be happier if they have the right support when they're bringing their bikes back, or hopefully you've got down to 0 returns by now. We're also looking at continuous improvement, which is really important in a business, to regularly monitor and evaluate the performance of your sales channels and be prepared to adapt and iterate based on feedback and insights. The continuous improvement is really, really key here. So in conclusion for this slide, sales channels play a pivotal role in the success of any business. By understanding the different types of channels available and selecting the most appropriate ones for your business, you can effectively reach sustainable growth, competitive. So what I do now is pause this video and explore the future possible channels for your company within SimVenture Evolution. The sales and marketing director will have quite an input to this activity as the lead in sales and marketing. But as a team, I want you to consider what the best options are and will be. So you need to analyze your sales channels at whatever point you're at in the simulation. Look at your SWOT analysis in terms of distribution channels and think, is there anything there that I can use? So as a team, what is your best option? Are you going to make some changes or not? That's fine too. And then I want you to play out your decision in the simulation and rewind if it doesn't work for you. As always, these are the employability skills you are working on. Please choose as many as you like and write up with evidence where you have developed an employability skill. So, for example, self-management. Has the sales and marketing director done enough work on the SWOT analysis for sales channels and played out these in individual play spaces and that marketing. Don't be worried about just so as you will need to include it in the assessment. The journal can be used in SimVenture Evolution, or better still, keep your own document in the cloud and make sure that you attach the entire journal from week 1 to the end of the course in appendix in your summative assessment. In this module, in summary, we've covered sales channels, you've covered your active diary and your CBI skills. And to finish off, there is a reference at the bottom of this slide. We have used Kotler et al., the 2016 edition of Marketing Management, and we have looked at particularly chapter 19 in terms of sales channels.